conservatives are going to say the glass is half empty. We don't want change because it could make worse what already exists, so we want to preserve what it is that exists. And when they came up with Jim Crow, what are some examples?
Separate water fountains.
Separate water fountains. Tell me more.
Bathroom, separate telephone.
Okay, now these are all general things. True, but general things. Give me some article separations.
Sit in the back seat of the bus.
Sit in the back seat of the bus.
Like if a black,
bus.
if a black and white person, they engage.
You're not allowed to engage.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't engage what?
In sex.
Yeah, the opposite sex.
Then, like you can get in trouble or like.
If you engage in sex, you can get in trouble. There's laws for that. I mean, whether you're black, white, it doesn't matter. I mean.
And black men,
Interracial
black
marriages.
women,
Yeah,
Interracial.
Okay, so if it was interracial cohabitation, if they were shacked up basically, and they were not married, that could be punishable by law. There were some other ones though.
Wasn't the big example the textbooks? They had to stay within races. So
Yeah, that was a really good one.
books were used by black children, they couldn't be used for white children, and vice versa.
Schools used to be segregated, so they were all white and all black schools. So the idea is that if it was a book that was given to an all-white school, it could only be used by white kids, and if it was given to an all-black school, it could only be used by black kids. It went down to things like when y'all go to the bar with your fakes. What do you do in the bar in addition to drinking?
Shoot pool.
Shoot pool. What were the pool laws?
You couldn't shoot at the same billiards table.
You could not. A black and a white could not shoot billiards on the same table. Little League, they couldn't play Little League or baseball within X number of blocks of each other. It got to the point where if you were going into a hospital emergency room, what was the rule?
Oh, you have two different doors.
Separate ones. And if you were black and tried to go in the white one, that's the conception, you would be punished. But if you were white and trying to go in the black one, you could be equally punished and fined in this regard. And then it even went to death. What was the trick with death?
They couldn't be in the same graveyard.
You couldn't even be buried in the same place in the graveyards. There were a lot of really good Jim Crow laws in that article. Have a look at those because these were all considered good law. I'm not saying that conservatives are racist. I'm saying that conservatives believe in conserving what existed, and that's what Jim Crow was trying to do. What other articles were out there? Go ahead.
The William and Mary Cross.
Okay, what was the cross? Because this was both liberal and conservative, or it could be. What was going on?
Keep it from.
In the school.
Okay, what school was this?
William and Mary.
Okay, William and Mary. William and Mary College, and you, Casey, I believe, got really angry about this because of your brother and assorted other, evidently, people. But what was the trick? The cross was where?
It was in the Wren building, which is, the whole building isn't a chapel, but one section of it is dedicated to chapel because that was the first actual building of the college.
Okay.
And there was, I think it was a bronze cross that was in it. And
Bronze, brass cross, yeah, okay.
A gold color.
Thank you, yeah, I can read it's gold-colored cross, go ahead.
And you could take it down if you wanted it down, but for the most part, for the longest time, it was just up. And they're trying to kind of switch that so that they're going to take it down to make it more easily accessible to people of other faiths.
Okay, that's exactly what this. What's the liberal part and what's the conservative part of this? What would a conservative person argue about that cross? They would say that it needs to stay there. They would say that it's history. They would say that it's culture. They would say that it had been there not just for years or decades, but for centuries, because that cross has been up there that long as part of that building, and we need to conserve what should exist. And what did the student body? Were they conservative?
For the most part, they wanted to keep it up.
Overwhelmingly, the people that responded to online polls wanted that cross to remain up. What would a liberal argue?
Change it for the better.
And what would taking it down do?
It would include everyone.
If you took down a specific religious symbol, then that would make it more open to all of the other religions that maybe would want to go there. Say what? Or put all of them up there. So if you either removed all of the symbols or put all of them up there, then you're good. So what you've got here is these are some really good examples of these articles. The belief quiz: liberal, conservative, populist, libertarian. We know what liberal is. We know what conservative is. But equate that with bedroom and wallet.
Liberals are less bedroom, more wallet.
Okay, liberals are less bedroom, more wallet. That can be opened in a lot of different ways. So what does that mean exactly?
They conserve less in the bedroom, and they're less.
They can serve less in the bedroom.
Wait, leave me alone.
They're against
Go ahead.
regulating the bedroom.
They're against regulating the bedroom, and what is bedroom really a code word
Moral
for?
issue.
Moral issue. So liberals believe in conservative, no, I'm not gonna go there, okay. Liberals believe in staying out of bedroom or moral regulation by the government, but they do believe in regulating the wallet or economic issues. Conservatives flip-flop. What's a libertarian?
Both, neither.
Stay out of both.
They don't want
Libertarians.
government to regulate anything.
The government should stay as much out of everything as possible. Wallet and bedroom, morals and economics. And what does a populist believe?
Regulate both.
Regulate everything. The government is there to help whom?
The little people.
The little people, Joe and Jane Sixpack, and the government can make better decisions for them than they can make for themselves. So when you look at these, and then you've got the extreme versions. A populist was a dictator. And who in class is most likely to be the dictator? Deanna is, indeed, the very person holding the camera because she's got to have control. Okay, libertarian. What is an extreme libertarian?
Anarchist.
Anarchist. And what does an anarchist believe?
No government.
No government, or the absence of government. An extreme conservative would be
Nazi.
a Nazi. And the extreme liberal?
Socialist.
Socialist, or indeed communist, maybe even ultimately. So when you deal with these, this is what we're going. Other articles from the chapter. We had the baby article.
Sex offender.
Populist was regulating everything. Government is the
Roe versus
extreme was
Wade.
Diana, a dictator. Okay, all right, when you think back to this, we had the baby article. What was the trick with the baby article?
Sex offender.
The sex offender. What did they do with the sex offender?